and welcome to Schedules Plus Tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at how you can manage inventory for items that you're selling in your point of sale, the POS tab. To set this up, first you're going to go to the Setup tab in POS. And as we look at our products here, we have a number of products that you're selling. If we want to set an item up to track inventory, you simply edit that product. And down at the bottom of the listing here, you just turn it on for yes, I want to track inventory. You save that item, and now that item is set up for tracking inventory. We can do the same for any number of these items. Let's do a setup here as well for tracking inventory for this item. We save it, and we're all set up. So now all of our items are defined as tracking inventory. Something else, as you're setting up a product, you can actually identify if that product has a UPC symbol. That's that barcode that you often see on products. It makes it easier to input inventory. It makes it easier to sell because at the point of sale you can actually swipe that barcode and it will automatically add it to the cart. So if you do have UPC symbols on your products, we recommend that you do put that in here as you save this. You'll also see there's another field here called Tracking with Asset ID when you're setting up a product. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. So we've now got our products set up to actually manage inventory. So let's add some inventory for donuts. We simply click on the Yes button for tracking inventory and it takes us to that item. So here we're highlighting here that we're working with donuts and we can simply add these in. And we're taking in 10 boxes that we bought at $3 each on the intake date of the 14th. And that's all we have to do to take that in. And simply if you had more that you were taking in and you had them on different dates, you just simply mark those intake dates and save. Okay? As you do so, one of the things to point out is as you're adding that inventory and you're adding these products on various intake dates, when you check the box Update Product on Hand, it will update this number here available. So you can always see what is the true number available based on your intake and sales. So when we go ahead and save that now, that gets updated. So now you see, and you can see the totals here, 10, 3, and 12 add up to 25 on hand. So now we've got those products available for sale. You can see here we have additional items that we already entered inventory for. So if we view that, we can see that there's inventory, and in this case here we have taken in 43, but we can see there's only 42 available, which tells me right away that there is one that's already been sold through the point of sale. As we see here, the inventory is equivalent to the number on hand. So if I'm going to sell one of those, you do that through your normal process. You click on the point of sale, you look for the person you're going to connect the sale to, and if this is not a person you need to connect directly to, you can just sell it to guest. And then as we go in there, we can select the item that we're selling. So we're going to sell one of donuts and one of pop. And if we add one of candy, that's there as well. So let's go ahead and now make this sale. And now the sale has been made. So now these are all reflected, and if we go back now to our inventory to take a look at what's going on there, we'll see that the inventory numbers have declined, right? So that inventory has now been depleted in the donuts area. Now this can also be very valuable to you in loan closet kinds of situations. So if we have a loan closet and we are tracking checkout of an individual item, an individual asset, like a scooter or a wheelchair or a cane, we can track those as well in the system. So let's take a look at the inventory we have on hand for scooter. As we look at that, we can see that there have been identified 3 individual items. And if we needed to add an additional scooter to our inventory, we can simply do that by adding an inventory item, a specific intake date. And you're always going to want to, in these cases here where you are checking out an inventoried asset, an individual item, a specific item that's got a tag on it, if you will, an asset ID tag on it, that's where you ensure that you add an asset ID. So that's an identifiable asset that you can check out in the point of sale process. So you can see here we have 4 available. If we go back now to the point of sale and Mary wants to check out a scooter as part of the loan program, you can see here there are 4 scooters available. So I can specifically say which one of these, based on the asset ID tag that is on that scooter, I'm going to be checking out scooter 1 to Mary. I simply do that here and I add that to the cart. You can see here cane and wheelchair. The item doesn't have any inventory available. So right now I can't check those out because there isn't any available. So the system is smart enough to prevent you from checking out an inventory item that you actually don't have on hand. And maybe I made a mistake and I'm not going to check out scooter 1. I'm actually going to check out scooter 3. I can easily select that and update the cart. And when I process this entry and look at the receipt, it tells me on the receipt that it's scooter 3. So when I print that receipt to give that to Mary, it identifies that in her receipt. So she takes that away with her and sees that. If I look at the inventory itself, at any point in time, I can see for the scooters what's going on with my inventory of scooters. So I clicked on that, viewed it, and you can see here I can tell that that's already checked out. It's in use. 3 are still available. If I were to click on the used, it takes me directly to that individual item, so I know who that is checked out to. When Mary comes back and returns it, if she returns that item, simply process that entry, it returns it, and after that return, when I come back to my inventory, I can see that it's back to 4, and when I view it, all of them are then yet available again. Reports are also updated to reflect inventory items, so that too has been updated to ensure that the accounting code detail for inventoried items is reflected. Receipts are clickable, so it takes you directly to that item. And so in here we see that the scooter sold to, returned to, and I can look at those individual items should I need to do so. So that's a quick look at how to manage inventory in SchedulesPlus. Thank you for joining SchedulesPlus tutorials.